Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Writers Chat. This is the place where writers like to gather, and we talk about all things writing for writers and by writers. So we're really glad you're with us here today. We got a lot of the regular crew in the chat, or if you're watching the replay. We know quite a few of you join us in the replay, and this is going to be a fun day. So I'm joined today by Melissa, who's helping with the recording, and Bethany, our co-host there, and we have a very special one of our own. Jann's going to be with us today and talk all about Canva and making memes, and I'm excited. We'll be stimulating our right brain, our creativity today. So, Jann, thank you for doing this today and leading us, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much for letting me do this today. I had fun learning some new stuff about Canva while I was getting ready, so this will be a lot of fun. So I'm going to share my screen with you. If I can't now, here we go, sorry. This is the home of Canva. If you haven't done Canva before, you can do it for free. And this is what the opening page will look like. On the list on the left-hand side is where you can get started if you really need help. Some of them are for paying customers only. The brand kit is something I've found new today, and they have color palettes, fonts, logos, and uploaded fonts. Now, the color palettes is the only thing you can use with the free Canva. The others are all part of the Canva that you can buy the upgraded. Free Canva is for just work, and Canva Work and Enterprise is $12.95 a month. If you pay for it annually, it's only $9.95 a month. And then Canva Enterprise, you have to work with them and do a custom plan, since that's all that they do. Then back to the home page, we have Design School. And it's not going to let me use it.
Hey, Jann, real quick, Lisa was asking, and then I think Bethany kind of talked about the advantages of paid. Why should we go to paid?
There's a lot more you can get from paid, but I found I got enough from the free version that maybe once I'm making more money at my writing, I would go ahead and up it. But for now, the free has been working very well for me.
Hey, Bethany, do you want to chime in? Because you've had both experiences, I think.
Yeah, so now things may have changed since when I originally got on. So Jann, correct me if I say anything that's in the free version that I'm saying is in the paid version. But one thing I can have is my brand kit. So I can put specific hex code colors into Canva and save them, and I can do multiple palettes that way. So my colors are consistent across all of my memes because I'm always picking the same exact color. And then I can upload different fonts. And then one of the biggest things is the magic resize tool, which means I can make a social media image, which is basically a square. But if I want to do that same image on Twitter, I can click magic resize. And basically any of the templates that they have, or even custom dimensions, I can, with one click of a button, they will open in all the different tabs, as many as I choose. And so I'll have the design I'm working on, and then a new tab will open, and it'll be Twitter sized, and all I have to do is kind of rearrange things to fit in the Twitter box. So I'm not remaking memes all the time. I'm just able to do kind of one design and then just tweak it for all the other platforms I want to use it on, and it saves so much time. I love Canva for work. Now I'll go back to Jann.
No, that sounds really great. For me, I can't afford it right now, but if you have a little more, because I'm on a fixed income being retired, but if I were still working, I would definitely consider moving up to that. So everybody has to kind of figure out where they're at and how the pricing would work for them. I found this the other day, design school, and I think the first lesson, it's just short. I wanted you to hear it. I think it's very helpful. We'll get her started.
The sound isn't coming through, Jan.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
We can't hear her.
You can't hear? Oh, sorry. Okay, she talks about knowing your audience before you start any project. You don't want to just jump in and make your meme. You have to know who your audience is, what they're looking for, how you can reach them in the best way possible. And I'm sure the rest of the lessons will go along that line. But
And what was that again? It was design school. What was the website again, please?
it's on the Canva homepage.
Oh,
And it's over here on the left. It's called Design School.
okay.
And then there's also Create a Team. And this is where if you have multiple people working on projects, you can add their email addresses so that you can share the memes and everybody can add their thoughts or tweaks or whatever on that. So that would be helpful if you're like in an office and if there's more people working on that.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
For a serious writer, or like if you have like an intern or someone doing something, that can be really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where that would really help you guys.
Mhm.
Now back to home, this is where you will start making your memes. There are 3 ways to make your memes more appealing: color, picture, and catchy text. Colors really do tell a lot. Red is the color of energy, passion, action, ambition, and determination. Orange is the color of social communication and optimism. Yellow is the color of the mind and intellect. It is optimistic and cheerful. Green is the color of balance and growth. Blue, trust and peace. Indigo, intuition. Purple, imagination. Turquoise, communication. Pink, unconditional love and nurturing. Brown, friendly yet serious, down to earth. Gray is the color of compromise. Silver has feminine energy. Gold is the color of success, achievement, and triumph. White is color at its most complete and pure. Black is the color of hidden and secretive.
Whoa.
So
Hey, Jan, I would love to have you share that list on our writers page, on our
Sure.
member page later, if you could. I think that would be really neat reference for us to go back and look at.
yeah, there's a few different sites where you can find things on colors, and it's amazing. You can change the moods on your posts by using different colors. And you can use many different pictures, scenes, or objects to catch the eye or to show your product. Catchy phrases are good. Your book title, a short message, a thank you, invitation, company logo, just a lot of different things that will help. Some of my memes are down here where you can see I have ebook Christian and authors community logo. I have a meme here for working together. At Easter, I used this meme up here and made little name tags for the grandkids' Easter bags.
Aww.
So you can go through and do, different things. All I had to do on the Easter, I can pull it up if I want. I can just change the name out here. On a single line, if you click 3 times, it'll highlight it. And then I can type in a different name so that it shows up there. back to the home page. This Canva does save all your designs, which is helpful. I can't believe how many different templates they have up here on the first line. They have Pinterest, social media, an email header, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, letterhead, magazines, book covers. I mean, I haven't even made it to the end. There's so many different designs that you can use. So those are ones that you can start with, and then you make changes as things go on for you. Okay, up here you can type in the name of the meme if you want, if you don't see something right away here. So let's start making a meme. I clicked, and I have a blank screen template box here. And on the left column here are all the different elements to create a meme. For templates, you can pick one of these. There's more to choose from in each of the topics. You can just click on one and then change the elements within it. I saw a different one down here that I thought was kind of cute.
Hey, Jan, I just noticed on the one that you clicked on first, the last one, it had the little lines on it. So you might want to talk about, because some of the templates cost money, and like the one you have right now doesn't have the lines, so it's free, right? So you'd see how it's marked free. That one, see how it has the lines? So that would be like $1.
Oh, to remove the watermarks? Yeah, that would be. I didn't realize that was one of the pay ones.
I sat there and I created a little mini account like for $10 or something, and then so I could download if I found one I really liked. But I upload my own most of the time.
Yeah, I usually just make my own. I don't usually
buy. But
there.
you gotta be careful because you could spend a lot of time on a design, and if you don't catch those, that's the one that's going to cost.
Right, that can add up.
You can't.
So I thought this was a cute picture, so I think I want to change the title. Now, if I want, I can change the font. Go up here next to the left column with all of the different available things. Let's do this Abro Fair, and it just changes it out a little bit. And if I want, I can make it smaller. That's too small. And then down here, let's change this to say what I need. And let's do a book launch party. And I'll change the font again. I want something a little darker. Let's do something a little fun. And let's change there. This is the date. We can leave the date. We can give the title of the book and different things like that. Once you do your meme and put it in social media, then you can add more information about it. But this will catch their eye and they'll want to read the rest of your post when they see it. Over back here on the far left is elements. What's nice is they give you the recently used elements across here, and you would click all, and it would give you all the different ones you have tried. And hit the X to get back out. Free photos. I was amazed at how many photos they had in here. I usually get mine from Pixabay, but they have a ton of free photos here for you to use. And grids. if you have a design that you want to make and it has different parts that you want to emphasize, something like this, you wouldn't put it over the other, but this way you can have 3 different messages within that. Hit delete if you don't want it. They have shapes, gradients, and you can change all the colors, I believe, on these, all the different types of charts, lines, frames. I'll show you how to use a frame later. Many different illustrations and icons. You can click on photos, and it has all the different photos broken down to colors, landscapes, floral, tropical. So you can have many different things from there. It'll make it easy. Graphics, all the different things you need for that. You can just look at graphics, not everything, or you can go back to all and have them all there for you. In text, this is what I usually start with, are the add a heading, add a subheading, add a little bit of body text. That way you can pick the font type, the size, and they're set apart because they're different sizes. They have templates down here, like you want to do Merry Christmas, and put your name. You can personalize it. You can change the color of Merry Christmas. Let's see, get rid of this. Yeah, it's going to make me do all the elements. Drag and drop there. Merry Christmas in. And then let's change the color. Let's make it red. And then we can change this, and let's make it green. So then you've used their template, but you've made it yours.
Mm-hmm.
And you can add the background, you can add a picture, you can do whatever you want with that.
Yeah. Jan, you might point out, I think it was Melissa that asked about saving on that, and it does say across the blue top, right now, all changes are saved.
Yeah, I'll show you how to change it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you how to do that in a minute.
Okay.
Backgrounds, there's tons of all different types and shades of colors, backgrounds, nature, and there are also available the ones that are in the paid program.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to drop down to folders. This is part of the paid program. You can make your folders. I haven't made that many memes that I want to put them in folders. Bethany probably has because she's got so many irons in the fire.
I love folders.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
do.
Yeah, I think that's why I paid for it. Actually, it was because I couldn't handle the disorganization of all my pictures.
So yeah, so now back up one to uploads. Now I want to put a picture in here. First I'm going to go to Pixabay. This is a fun free program you can use too. They have photos of different things, illustrations you can see, and there's multiples within each of them. Vectors. This one I found today and it's really cool. If you hold the mouse over it, you get animation.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought that was kind of a new, neat one that I hadn't learned before.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's try typing something. People. Now let's do people working. further down. I saw one earlier that I liked. And that's all they had for that one. Let's try something a little different. It wasn't the one I had before. People talking. Well, these are all still on the animated. I need to move back. Sorry. Photos. I had fun learning some new things around here today. In the picture I had. Here we go. Okay, so now I click on this picture. I am logged in, so I don't have to go through anything. And I like this picture, so I'm going to click on the right, free download. It'll give you options of sizes. The one that they mark is the best option, but you can change it. And I'll click free download. And it shows up down here in the bottom left corner, so I'm going to click on it there. And I have different options of what I can do with it. I can like it, I can rotate it. Over here, there's different effects you can add to it. I can send it to someone, I can print it, or I can click on the dots to the side.
Is that inside Pixabay, Jan, or is that in the photo editor?
This is just in Pixabay.
You're still inside Pixabay?
I'm still inside Pixabay.
Wow, so I correct my statement I made in the chat. You can't edit in Pixabay.
So now I can save it as. This is your answer.
How did you get to that again? Show me real quick, because I didn't know Pixabay did that either.
Okay, let me
You
X
just
out.
clicked on it. You clicked on it while you were still in Pixabay, huh?
Yeah, let me back up and I can show you from, okay, here's the picture I decided to choose.
Yep.
Clicked on it.
Yep.
I'm already logged in, so I don't have to log in.
I wonder if that's it. Yeah.
And then clicked on free download. And then I chose the one that they wanted me to choose and click download. And it comes up down here at the bottom left corner.
What app is opening when you click on that photo, though?
It's just within Pixabay.
The download picture is coming up inside of Pixabay to edit?
Well, it's in my download folder. But then I can click on the dots and I can save it as, and I can move it wherever I want to. Within my downloads, I have many folders, and Graphic Stock was the program I used to use, but this is where all my graphics are. I'll click on books and I want to save it in here.
Yeah, it looks like, okay, so Wanda said it's opening in Photos on your Windows computer, which gives you the option to edit photos. And I said too, like on a Mac, if I download something, I can open it in preview and I can make edits. So I just wanted to clarify that this is not Pixabay technically where we're editing photos.
Oh, okay. I downloaded it from Pixabay and I don't usually edit my photos, I just use them.
Okay, all right, so yes. So it's just however you save your photo in the chat, you're editing it in the photo opener.
Right.
Whatever computer you're using.
Right, whichever time. Whoops. We'll go back here. No, that wasn't the, let's start a new one because I went ahead and grabbed the other. Upload. Now this is how I get the picture I just downloaded. Click on this bar, upload an image, and it went right to where I had just saved this. So I can double click on that and it's going to download here. And you can either click or you can drag, either way you want to go, and adjust it. going to add some text. And I want to change my font. And now I want to move that up to here. And now add a subheading. And I can move that down here. I want to make it a different font. You can make them all the same, or you can change them up a little bit. You don't want to play too much with them. And let's make that just a little bigger. And then a little bit more. Let's move that down here. What I always do is, wait, I can't read it. I always add my website down on the bottom so people know where to find me. If they like my meme, they know how to get a hold of me. And then now I go in and do my background. Now
Hey,
that
Jann, real quick, when you talked about your website, I usually make mine more transparent. Can you show the transparent? Somebody had asked about it earlier. Can you show how you could make that more transparent across the top?
this up
No,
here,
your website. Highlight your website. Highlight it. Okay, and then if you go up to on the upper, yep, that, show how they do that, and then how you can make it a little more transparent. Yep. See, so it becomes more of a watermark. I can't show if it was who asked for about that earlier.
Okay.
How to make that more transparent. You could do that to backgrounds. You could do that to pictures. You could do that to any font. But that is such a neat thing, that transparent thing. Yeah, thank
I've
you.
used that for things, but I never thought to use it on my website. That's a great
I
idea.
don't want to, I like them to see the website, but that's not the first thing I want them to see. So it's usually smaller, and I make it more of a
Right.
watermark. So I make it
Great
more
idea.
transparent all the time. Yeah.
So I'm going to add this background, and I want to move writer's chat so it's on one of those lines. So that shows you how you can move that back around. But now let's move these down a little. And then let's turn the picture a little bit just to make it catch the eye a little more. You can add multiple pictures or images and overlap them. There's all kinds of stuff you can play with the different things. Okay. Do you want me to unshare my screen and we can talk, or is there more questions and I can show how to do them on here?
One question I've got, I know it saves continually, but do you also show how you download it and do you share it at all there? Yeah. How do you get it back? How do you get it to use? Okay. Talk us through that.
Okay. I'll click. It's preparing my design.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll click down the bottom corner. And I'll go over here, just like I saved my downloaded picture. Save as. In my downloads, my different memes. I'll just save it to, I don't have a writer's chat file folder, so I'll just save it at the bottom. And then anytime I want it, say I'm on here, let's go to Facebook. photo. Search it here. Double click, and it'll insert it here. And then you can tag friends and do your post, and it would all go out right there.
Wow. Now, somebody asked why you took Canva over Picmonkey. Is there a reason?
I used to use Picmonkey all the time, and there were some things they had, like you could put like a photo frame around something, you know, like a black frame, which Canva didn't offer, but Picmonkey was getting harder to use, and you had to start paying more. I don't know if they've reverted back or not, but I did use Picmonkey and really liked it, but kind of switched to Canva because, well, like Bethany uses it, Kristen Hogriff uses it, and they were showing all kinds of tricks, which they do have more to offer than the other, but it just, they started wanting to charge me for stuff, and I didn't want to have to do that.
Yeah. Bethany, I think you commented that they've updated, haven't they? Picmonkey, in the last year or so, it seems like they've done some new things, haven't they?
Yeah, because my mom, for those of you watching, the other co-host who's not here today is Johnny Alexander, who is my mom, and she still uses Picmonkey for some of her designs. So I was looking at what, like, they've updated things. I think they had to because they were competing with Canva, which is great. But I still, like, when I go in there, I get frustrated having to use it because I've been using Canva for so long. I feel like Canva is a little bit more intuitive than Picmonkey in some ways. But I did, to give them credit, and in the chat, I'll say it for the video, Picmonkey has like facial editing tools that Canva does not. And although I use Facetune on my phone for that anyway, but then cropping is the one harder thing to do in Canva than it is in Picmonkey, I have found.
So there's advantages and disadvantages of both of them. And Bethany, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about, you've made the comment in the chat that you use Canva quite a bit for presentations.
Yes.
Steph, do you want to share a little bit about that? Because that seemed to pique a lot of people's interest.
Yeah, I can even pull up one because like, someone was asking, like, so basically all of the things that I do for school or even presentations for teaching at writers conferences and things, I use the templates that they have in Canva. So it's just one of the design options that you can do.
If you're pulling your page up too, since you've got the paid version, Rhonda asked about if you could show how the resizing works.
Yeah.
That might be fun to see while we have yours up, and then we'll go back to Jan then.
Okay, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Is that showing?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so this is just one of the most recent blog featured images I did for here. And one thing I like is you can duplicate. On the newer version, it's up here. Mine's right here because this is an older one. But you can click this, and it'll create the same exact one. And then you can go in and just change your text or picture and stuff, which is great, which is another reason it keeps all this stuff for me down here. So, like, if I wanted this in particular to be for Twitter, I could choose basically any design I want over here. And let's just do like a Pinterest. So if I click abracadabra, it opens up in a new tab. It leaves my old one alone here, and then opens up here in the Pinterest size. And then all I have to do is make some adjustments. So there it is. So I use grids in mine, which is in the elements feature when I put my pictures in here, so that I can resize photos like this.
Wow.
So then all I'm doing is moving text.
So you don't have to retype everything. It's all right there. You just
All
move
right
it.
there. And then I could add something here. And then if I wanted this to be like, if I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay, I want Twitter as well, I can click it. I could do them at the same time. It'll open as many browser tabs as I need. And now here's Twitter. So again, using the grid lets you resize photos a lot easier. So I just might do this, and then I can just simply go to text and then just change it however I want. Ta-da. And then I could change this too. I will do it on the screen. But like, so basically you just get like, you can get your images done really, really fast for social that way. So that's Magic Resize tool.
Do you always resize when you're putting them on the different medias, or?
I don't for Facebook because it squares things. So I usually just use the social media as like the template because Instagram is square. So I just use that same, I'll use this one on Facebook and Instagram. If I'm going to do Pinterest, if I want to mess with it, I will do a Pinterest graphic because it's longer, so it takes up more room on the computer screen when you scroll, which is what the advice they say to do. But for Twitter, I do resize almost. If I'm going to do like a specific graphic, I'll resize it for Twitter.
But you can do it without resizing, can't you? Does it change your design if you just share and don't resize?
It doesn't change your design because you're uploading it as like a JPEG or PNG to Twitter, but sometimes it doesn't come across in like the long. If I want to make sure it's seen on mobile or a computer screen, I sometimes will Twitter resize. Although sometimes Twitter will show a whole photo anyway. I think it just depends. But so I don't always. Yeah, sometimes mine is that they're cut in weird ways. So
Okay.
it depends. I can show you the keynote. I'm just gonna try to. I don't want to like make you guys watch me scroll, but I can find a presentation for you.
Sure. Yeah, you're adding some helpful information that I don't use with having the paid version.
Yeah. I'm curious, Brandy's brought up in the chat too while she's pulling that up. And I don't know, Jan, if you could help her, or maybe Bethany come in since it's Canva for work, that she needed to customize the text and it wouldn't let her put in an outline. And when she tried to do it manually, the text looked disjointed. So that kind of that copy and paste function, if you had trouble with that with Canva, or you have a trick at all, either of you, for copy and paste text?
I've always just used their fonts.
Yeah, if you're like, you know, on memes when they have like the white in the box and then the black outlining it on there, I have looked for fonts, like free fonts to upload that are like that. That everything that I found is like inside of Photoshop, it's like there's like a way that they move the lines or something. So I haven't found like a font that actually has that. So if somebody has the font that has it outlined, I would love to know, because you can use that on any photo because the black and the white, you can see it on anything. But I would love to know if there's a font out there like that. I've looked for it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that I can't do that in Canva. Okay, I found the keynote if you guys want to see that. Okay. So let me go back to share. So this is in my school folder, and these are some of the different projects that I had to do. So I'm hoping there's more than one picture in here. Okay, so I've got 9. So this would be like a template that they had, and then I just changed the colors, and then let me just go to edit instead of view so I can move things around. So I don't actually create my keynotes in Canva, because if I need to go back and edit something, it's easier to do it in, I use a Mac, so I use a Keynote. So it's easier to edit in there. So let's see what I've got here. Yep, again, I'm using the grid, and I think I've got the transparency down quite a bit so that I could put text on top inside of Keynote. This is probably one of the photos that, I don't know, I probably added it in here, but they would have had a photo here, and I would have just replaced the photo and then left white space for text. And then this would be another one of theirs with the line at the bottom. And then I would have added that picture here and left this for different things. So basically, when they had their template like so over here, they had words, pictures, maybe little bars and things. So I just tweaked it all to make it sort of a blank canvas for me. And then these are the pictures that I use inside of the presentation pretty much only. So I'll just repeat some of the photos or graphics, or like if I'm talking about, maybe this is going to be about branding tips. All of my slides about branding tips will be this picture. And then if I move on to like a second point, all of the points underneath that will be here. So I've got cohesion inside of the PowerPoint presentation without like a whole bunch of pictures. So this is where I could, I could drag this photo into there if I wanted to.
What
and then,
template did you use for this?
This one, see, I renamed it.
Did you, when you originally came up, was there a PowerPoint or a key point template?
Yeah, yes. I know what you're saying.
Maybe go back to Canva where you like first choose. There you go.
Okay, I think I need to, let me just resize this into like a present. Well, is that right? Let me go home. Okay, I'm gonna stop share for a second.
Sorry.
Okay, here we go. So I clicked on, it was presentation. So I clicked on that to create one, and then the templates will come up over here. So I look for one that has more than one template. Like this has 25, the one that I'm on right here, has 25 like pictures in it. So if you click on it, you can choose the ones that you want to use. So like you can use this one, and then you can add a page, and then I might do this. So what I might do is I might look at this as a way to design it in Keynote, and I will start just deleting out their elements. I might put my own brand here. I might leave that line though. So that's kind of how I just go through and I just add in the pages that I want, and then I just change out photos and then delete the text, but I leave the boxes so I can add text there. So I use them as like really the template of how to make it look good. And then when I download, I download them here as a PNG, I think. And then when I open Keynote, I just move the whole graphic on top of the Keynote presentation, and then I edit inside of that.
So you're using Canva as your basic canvas on that to get kind of the element that you want. Then you upload them in Keynote, or if somebody doesn't have Keynote, PowerPoint, and then finish your presentation over there.
Mm-hmm. And my professors have all really commented on the design aspect of the presentations, and I think it's simply because I'm not messing with the aesthetics. I'm just taking the ones that I like and then adding in my pictures and my text. I really only have to worry about the presentation words for it, and not so much how it looks, because I know just adding in the photos is gonna be great. And they have tons of templates in there, so that's been really helpful. It makes it really easy.
Yeah.
That's great.
Rhonda added in the chat that search 1001fonts.com. She said you'll find out live fonts there.
I can find the brand kit if you want to see it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just to comment, as you pull that up too, Brandy shared that it's an important tip if you try the Canva for free, that you have to cancel 24 hours prior to the trial end date, or they will charge you for a version. That's a good heads up to have, just if we want to play with this. Canva for work, she's saying, Canva for work. If you try the Canva for work, they might, so be wary of that cutoff date on that.
Right.
Oh, so this is my brand kit. So I can add in hex codes here for just different things. This is the pink that I use almost always. And then I can upload different fonts, and I can choose the size. So I kind of I don't really use them as like, this isn't really my subheading. This is just more of like a scripty thing. And so it'll always be at the very top of the font suggestions would be the ones that I put here. And then this text is the one I use almost consistently across all of my social media, and even Serious Writer is this, I think it's Jung or I don't know. And then you can upload, I think, up to 10 fonts. And so these are ones that I regularly will use inside of my branding and Serious Writer and all this. And then I can also create different, so if I want to do anything leopard, I found hex codes that are like leopardy hex codes. And then if you want to do like, this was a different kind of campaign I was doing. So these were the colors that were going to work for that. For Platlit, these are the ones that I use. Serious Writer, these would be some that we would use, although they need updating. And then you can also add logos in here too, which would be a folder. So if you're wanting to watermark your photos and you have like a graphic or several of them, you can add those in here too. And then when you create a design, then they just are available. Like with the text. Here's the 3 that I put in specifically.
Nice.
Yeah, and here's, if you click on the colors, then here's all the color templates that I've already added in. And then you got folders, which is.
So really, we could start with the free version. I liked what you said originally, Bethany. You started with free, then you went to paid, then you quit paying, and then you realized how much you liked it. I mean, really, that's smart. That's smart that way. Hey, listen, we got less than 10 minutes. Jann, do you have something else that you really wanted to emphasize before we invite everybody back in? Because I have a feeling there's going to be some more questions and some discussion on this. Do you have something else that you didn't get to?
No, I think I got it all, but thank you for letting me play today. I've learned some too, and thank you, Bethany, for sharing all what you know from the paid version. That's really will help, especially for those that need more,
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it on that way. Well, why don't we invite people, come on back in, and we can have some more discussion, and appreciate everything that you've done with Jann. If you can't come back in, we always tell this to those of you that have been here before. Sometimes we've taken you off video, so you have to put in the chat that you're in Writer's Chat jail, and we can release you. That happens to a couple people every week, it seems like, so I'll kind of watch the chat, okay? And we can bring you back in. I see one already. And we'll get everybody back in for discussion. Jann or Bethany, do you have any guidance? I'll start that first. Do you have any guidance on font sizes or fonts to use that make good memes?
I just like to use a larger size just to kind of catch people's attention. The picture and the little is one of the key things people look at, but then your header, just like Writer's Chat, I wanted that to jump out. You don't want them all the same size. How about you, Bethany?
I like to use like a script and a non-script font if possible sometimes, just to like make the graphic look good. I know one thing that I do a lot is I don't utilize a lot of space with my text. Sometimes, like when I will download it, I'll like, oh man, the text really could have taken up more space on the photo but I'm like, oh, I need it to have like white space, and that is a thing, but sometimes my fonts aren't large enough to actually fill it, and so that's something that that's one of the checks I always have to do when I download it is, could the text be bigger? Would it make more sense and look better if it was? And then one thing I do too is I add an overlay sometimes to our photos because it covers the picture, anything you've done, the font is on top of that because they're all in layers, and then I'll add like an overlay, which is just in the elements section on there. I'll usually pick like a white or a gray, and then I'll transparent it down, and then it kind of makes everything underneath of it look cohesive. Like you can't tell kind of where the layers are. It's much better done in like Photoshop. Like Cody's graphics look way better than mine in Canva, but he's the one who told me to, when you overlay things, it kind of makes it look like one image. So that's one thing that I have been doing to kind of up my Canva game a little bit, is adding an overlay on top.
It's really good. Rhonda, you made a comment in the chat about fonts. Do you want to talk a little bit about font pairings that you've seen?
Yes. Google is a great source for people who don't understand, like name 2 fonts for me that go well together. Well, most people can't name 2 fonts. So I use 1001fonts.com. And I think Lisa Kibler says she uses Dafonts, DAFONTS.com. Those are both in the chat. They're great. And you have to download and install the font on your computer to use it. So if you don't know how to do that, it can get a little tricky. But one of my pet peeves is a beautiful meme and you can't read the letters. Either they're too large, they're too small, or they run off on your phone, they're not sized correctly, or there's not good contrast. And this is where I'm a stickler. If I can't see the letters standing out against the background to read them, then I've not done a good job. And I know how to fix that on Photoshop. I don't know what you do in Canva, but I think what Bethany said about layers, if you've got a great photo, and in fact the example Jen was using, it had laid in a white layer behind the text. So the picture was not the entire meme was not a picture. There was a picture that was resized and then a blank box chosen with one of your branding colors and put the text against the box. That's the safest thing to do, because sometimes my eyeballs bleed when I look at some of this stuff and you can't see what it's saying.
Right.
That's good advice.
Good advice. Good stuff. Well, I think we all want to go play this afternoon instead of going off to. I have a meeting this afternoon, so I want to go play instead.
Unfortunately, it can take hours. You always get started and you don't want to quit.
Yeah, answering Leslie's question in the chat. Say fonts that you can see in every computer version. What she's talking about is web-safe fonts, and that's important for websites. That when people pull up a website, they see a web-safe font that looks the same on all computers. But if you're making a meme, you can use any font you want, because basically you're uploading it as a picture. And when you upload it as a picture, it looks the same on everybody's computer.
Right.
That's good to know. That's good to know. And stuff. And then some fonts, they're talking about some fonts, if you use it for business, like say promoting our newest book or promoting an upcoming conference, for example, that there's some fonts that you can't use for business reasons. So you have to kind of watch their terms. That was said in this chat. That's all good. This is good. It adds some depth to some of my knowledge this time. We've got just about 2 minutes left. Any last minute questions? You want to speak up? Forever hold your peace.
I have a question.
Okay.
When you're on and this is a little different, and you're showing your presentations, how did you actually do that? So like for Bethany, you were showing us a presentation. How did you do that?
How did I share the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so the question, how do I share the screen on Zoom? Right? If I roll my mouse on top of the window, a little bar comes up at the bottom, and then I see a share button. Mine's green. It has a box with an arrow.
Okay.
And I click that, and then I have lots of windows open, so I can either show my entire laptop, whatever I pull up, or I can choose just one specific application, and that's what I chose, specifically the Safari window, so that it wouldn't pop up accidentally in the background or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe, do you see the share button down at the bottom, or is it because we're co-hosts?
I see the share.
You can see it even if you're not a co-host. See it.
I see it. Yep.
That's how you find that. Zoom is amazing. I just think it's just amazing. Hey, listen, with the minute left, I want Norma, are you next week? You're the boss next week, right? So Norma, do you want to tell them a little bit about what we're doing next week while we're still in the recording?
Yes, next week we're going to talk about, as writers, what would you have told your younger self when you were at the beginning of this journey, and kind of pick each other's brains to encourage each other in this writing journey, and maybe learn something new, some new techniques or ideas that are out there that maybe some of us haven't heard of yet. It'll be fun. Everybody will be in the hot seat next week, not just a few.
It sounds fun.
I love it. I think it will be. I think we'll start off probably with our regular group to have some discussion of them, but we'll invite everybody on early. So that's your homework assignment to think about and share something on that way. And it sounds like I need to find that song. I don't know that song, Rhonda. Dory knows it too. You guys know, what is it, Dear Younger Me?
Dear Younger Me.
Oh, wow.
Maybe we can open with that, Jan. Have that playing. For Jeannie, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, Mercy Me. Okay, good. I'll look that one up. I love Mercy Me. That sounds great. Well, thank you again, Jan and Bethany, for being willing to jump in a little bit today. I think it's inspired us to feed our right brain, and we're going to have to go play all afternoon. That sounds like fun on a dreary Ohio day up here. We don't have any sunshine again. But anyway, so I need some fun time today. So that sounds great. So stay around for the after party for those of you that are here. And thank you again, Jan and Bethany. Thank you for recording, Melissa, and staying on and helping us. And everybody for being here today. We'll see you next week. Bye now.